At Kuramo, we are indeed fortunate that we have 3 offices. We have an office in Nairobi, and we have one in Lagos, and we also have an additional office in New York as well. However, though, all our investment teams are actually based on the ground. So in that regard, we are very fortunate because we are able to actually interact with through our networks, we are able to actually generate a very robust pipeline. And as a result of that, we are then able to, through our investment process, be able to select some of the opportunities that end up in our portfolio. TransCentury is a good example of having gone through the process, our investment process, and having ended up as part of our portfolio. And that's why we are very grateful for this recognition that we have received from the Private Equity Africa. You know, one of the key things that we have found out in private equity, and it's actually globally, not even an African issue, is that in private equity, rarely do you have women who lead private equity firms. There are few, there are some there, but they are very few. So as a result of that gender gap, at Kuramo, what we have done is decided to go out there and start a product that is actually going to invest in women-owned private equity firms and also women-owned businesses. And then as those funds invest in women-led businesses, that hopefully will have a compounding effect and bridge that gender gap that is currently in existence. For the Muremi Fund, we are planning on it will be about $150 million that will be able to deploy not only in Kenya, but in some of the other African countries as well. The industry continues to evolve. Obviously, there's a long way to go, but relative to 15 years ago, there has been a tremendous growth and tremendous improvement when it comes to the private equity space. And also having said that, you know, obviously the continent continues to grow, and the opportunity set, which has always been there, but continues to be robust. So in terms of other private capital coming to the continent, especially from the West, sometimes I hear the argument that there aren't that many opportunities. You know, Kuramo is obviously a good example of a private equity firm that has pioneered this space and has shown or has demonstrated that the opportunity set actually exists, and that private equity capital that can come into the market, especially in Kenya and some of the other markets that we invested in, that there will be opportunities where you can invest that capital and actually be in a position to generate extremely attractive risk-adjusted returns.